Hi, this is Brittany from the Goddess Complex LLC. Welcome to Memoirs of a Divine Feminine, where I share a brief journal entry of my life via my divine feminine spiritual journey, um, especially when um, especially when it's encasing certain events that could help the next person. So this right here, very deep. These are exactly true life experiences. Maybe this could help someone else. So just briefly, this is for those who are on their spiritual journey as divine feminines, who are actually in the process of ascension. Also, maybe your next stage of awakening. Maybe you're fresh out of the dark night of the soul, doing your shadow work. Especially those who are doing shadow work, this one's definitely for you. How to remove toxic friends or friends that are no longer calibrating at your level spiritually, or even embodying the triple trilogy, mind, body, and spirit. Um, Friends no benefit is our topic for today. All righty. So friends no chaser or friends no benefit. Ooh, excuse me. Friends no benefit. And this started out as, unfortunately, a debate. We'll say debate and spiritual interference of when to let go. I know for me, I've already talked about this story before over on Cards and Coffee. But for me, starting at 25 years old was I think the last straw with God, if that makes sense, where He got my full attention at 25 years old. If you don't know that I work with God and the angels, elders, ancestors, and stuff like that. I work very closely with them, and I'm glad I do, and I'm glad I did. A lot of people have to understand when you see the signs. Of course, your solar plexus is going to go off, but your third eye is going to catch on to a lot of things, and I started noticing at 25. Of course, I was awakening. I got the signs. I already had a kind of a up and down relationship with God. I would say mostly good, but then I had the little teenage angst with God. Everything, since He is my father, I have teenage angst with Him, which is normal. When you're young, you don't really pay attention to certain stuff until God gets your full attention. Well, He got my full attention at 25. I started noticing that people would emotionally dumping. If you know the whole narcissist, sociopathic conversation we had over on Cars and Coffee, but we also have a podcast over on Anchor.m, now known as Spotify. It's also under Spotify listeners as well. So Anchor.fm, Cars and Coffee by the Goddess Complex LLC. Make sure you check that out. Especially, we'll have a new episode this weekend. Um, for one thing, I can truly say one thing that stuck out to me. I noticed the happier I was getting. Maybe I was achieving goals. Maybe I start changing my style, my look. Of course, when you go spiritual, you're going to change the way your hair is, or you're going to be changing the way you look, or the way you may be happier, you're healthier. Normally, a lot of those things go hand in hand. But for me, everything started to really change. I had finished school. I was working and going to school. Um, I was changing my hair a lot. I was changing my attitude. I was changing the way I was eating. Um, it started with me basically. I wanted to stop drinking. Vices. So you have to pay attention to your vices. I knew I was, started to notice God coming around a lot more and covering me more, things sticking out more, people leaving my life, or the interaction with communication with people and things started to decrease and cut back. And they normally warn you, and I was warned that was going to happen when you start waking up, or you start your spiritual awakening, because the awakening happens before the ascension journey. I started noticing the way people would look at me. And I was like, they always look at me a certain way. But I know it's friends, especially with friends, we'll say friends, associates, and just people maybe it's in your everyday path of life, neighbors and stuff like that. I noticed, well, not so neighbors to me because we were more so like family. Um, I noticed that they started they will get angry or jealous or envious for positive reinforcements that I'm doing towards myself. I know I stopped eating meat, went vegetarian. Kind of got flack on that, and I noticed that they were giving me advice. So they will bring in some form of apparatus, non-sexually, of course. Um, Maybe I'm watching my weight. They'll throw a bag of chips, or let's go get something to eat here, or this and this and this. So I noticed that if I'm doing something positive, something negative, or some type of negative interaction, or something, it's always something negative to counteract my positive reinforcement for myself. And you have to watch that, and that's because that is geared to bring you back and put you back in old patterns. Let's see. Let's see. I knew I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to stop drinking. Therefore, I was getting party invites. Oh, let's go out. Here and here. Uh, my friend having a birthday party. Want to go here? We're going down to to this lounge club or whatever. Boom, boom. Oh, one drink's not gonna hurt. You get like one or two shots. It's not gonna hurt. It's just a cocktail. Whatever. And you have to make the decision and the choice. Always choose you and God. At the end of the day, it's gonna be you and God. And I'm just warning my feminists to do that because it's a big ass payoff at the end. Also, another thing is I notice any type of positive, any type of positive, let's say notions, me changing the way I speak to people, saying hello a lot more, basically drinking my water, sipping my tea and coffee, and minding my business more. Staying more so isolated in the positive sense, because you can do that in the negative sense in your spiritual journey, and that can delay a lot of other stuff, because that can delay a lot of good things and blessings into your life, because you don't want to push the good stuff away and the bad stuff, because you end up with nothing, and it's like a blank canvas, and you're going to be like wanting things, and you're not going to be able to manifest them because you're doing a negative, it's a double entendre. You're pushing the negative and the positive way, so you have to know how to draw that line. Also, what ended up happening is I noticed fallouts with friends and family. That's normal. That's natural. What they I noticed is people were trying to use me as a positive, like a human charger to their life. And what they would do is emotionally dump. They really, it's like a hidden foe. They were foes, right? Actually, and it's like foes with benefits. And you don't notice it because you're like, oh well, I've been not knowing this person for years. Well, they're cool. They're cool. Well, I don't, what's going on here? What's going on there? But as I awakened, I noticed interaction with these people, and it was horrible. Almost like they were possessed by the devil or something, or some type of negative energy and spirits. Would not aim towards me, but it would go towards them, and not everybody. Because I keep the same friend circle for years, since middle school and high school, and keep it. I don't keep a huge group of people around me or friends or anything, but I deal mostly with family, which is something natural on the spiritual journey, especially if you come from a pretty good, level-headed family. Not perfect, but we're pretty cool people. But with this, I noticed that man, anytime I would, do something, let's say pray a little more. I used to even bring my Bible to work with me. Back then, I was still reading the Bible, which I still do. I read a lot more now. Now that I'm decoding it lot more in my spiritual journey, versus my beginning of my spiritual journey. I was still more religious and kind of in the middle of religion and deeper forms of spirituality. Now is a lot deeper, of course, because I've activated a whole lot more. Um, One thing I definitely hated was noticing how they would start arguments just simply because I'm doing something positive for myself, or I just don't want to do certain stuff. And they would have an actual tantrum, and it's just like, wow, like, wow. I'm not doing anything. I can see if I'm having a fit and acting a fool and starting confrontation. No, I would like actually sit there, and I just noticed I was like, well, God wants me over here. I'm going over here, and I would tell them, well, right now I'm kind of working on some stuff with God right here. And I noticed that they would actually get kind of jealous, and I also noticed the more I kind of work with God, the more I started seeing more so negative traits in people that you don't see it, and I started seeing it. So what they end up doing is trying to basically benefit off me spiritually awakening. And it's not everybody I had a fallout with, but it was just on a handful of people, and I really did not like that. I noticed that my friends, the real ones, were kind of on their own little spiritual stuff. They were just like, working 9 to 5, church, or meditation, prayer. Some of them are non-denomination, so they believe in a higher power, but they were waking up and being more so cautious. And me just weeding out those who do not serve the highest and greatest good, basically. Also here, I end up noticing it's very hurtful to lose a friend, but I got over it now. It's been years later. Like, mind you, I'm 35 now instead of 25, so it's been 10 years later, and I don't regret doing this. Like, and I hate that a conversation per se and spiritual interference actually strum up this actual conversation. And I noticed my negative friends start linking with certain things and people, and it's just like I see why God is pulling me from here and taking them over there. And unfortunate, and I can see the fate. And they started running with really weird people, very bad. They're like worser than how they're like regular negative traits. These other people were more dangerous, if that was, but I couldn't interfere because God had me kind of like glued this way while they were going this way. Like, it's kind of like how friends separate after high school type of thing. And I just noticed that they were to start using me as a punching bag or whatever. And like, I'm a pretty tough chick. I'm real nice, real bubbly, whatever. I'm a pretty tough chick, but spiritually you don't notice it because you just like, man, they just fussy or whatever. Or man, they're just, whatever. You know? And I don't regret walking away from any friendship. Now, we're not talking about relationships. You can take it as your twin flame soulmate journey or whatever. But um I definitely I definitely do not tolerate certain things now because of what I kind of let one or two arguments slide, this and that slide. You kind of like whatever, man. But I'm glad towards the end. The last conversation God had me to do is to bear witness to the result of me pulling myself back and working on myself spiritually. Because sometimes you do have to go in hermit mode, isolation. Because if you don't, what's going to end up happening? You're going to absorb all that shit. And I just got tired of people dumping on me and having to explain and make excuses. It's like being in a domestically violent relationship without being a relationship, it's a friendship. And then then there's other innuendos and stuff like that, and people sometimes treat their friendships like a relationship. You can have jealousy and envy as if in this underlying hate that's there, and you don't know it's there until you just really step back like, wow, that happened. And all this type of stuff. But what ended up happening is, uh-uh. what up in what end up happening? Cutting off certain things, certain people. If you notice they're draining you, they're always negative, and it was the tit for tat, underhand stuff to get your attention while God is trying to get you focused on something. Because I was getting ready to take down literally the devil itself, in the process of my spiritual journey. Say Lucifer and the devil, taking that down. But you have to be cautious. These people will use you until they can't use you. no more. They'll use you for money, take your money, take the energy, take the luck out of everything. They will drain you to the point where it'll stop your blessings, your journey. Some friends are not just they're just not meant to be there, and it's a temporary thing. Does that make sense? It's on some you cool, you hang out, boom, boom, boom. Some of them are what you call every once in a while. Every once in a while, friends. You hang out every once in a while, keep in touch every once in a while, that type of thing. Some you let go, and I let go of a lot of friends, and it just took the weight up off of me as I was activating, and it released something from my soul because I wouldn't say I was naive in my friendships, but I have such a positive outlook, and I give people the benefit of the doubt, if that makes sense. Also, it's like who am I to who am I to judge? Oh, kind of like, well, I'm not gonna judge them. But you have to kind of be judgmental when it comes to people stepping in your aura and stuff, especially once you hit that awakening. People will, it's like something clicks on in you and it clicks on in them, if that makes sense. And also, it also happens to like some people, they'll catch on like, oh, she woke, she positive, let me hang around her so I can get some of her good energy. That was also, energy vultures. That was another problem. People take your little money, bam, do stuff with it, fuck your money flow up. People will take, evil eye, all this weird stuff, and literally cast word spells and prayers. Thank God I got a channel that tells you guys how to take this stuff off, especially TikTok, all major social medias, and YouTube, of course. I have more videos on a lot of that stuff. And that's why it's important to do the work with God, which is the higher power, work with the universe, not against it. And my only regret is starting, oh, excuse me, I just had coffee. Starting earlier. Starting earlier. I think starting earlier. But when it's time to let go of these people, let go of them. Some people you'll put in isolation, some you won't. Just it people will attach to your soul because they're not ready to change and grow, and that anchor and weighs you down. And I couldn't have that. It was tearing my soul, and it was hard for some of these people to let go of me because I was the nice friend that gave a damn too much. I was the nice friend that was always there. I remember all the birthdays, Christmas, anniversaries, not a lot of those, but whatever, and other different things. And I tend to treat my friends like family. So it's hard. But some of these people won't let go. You do not let people force their way into your life. Like, you gonna be my friend, and they're negative and toxic. And what you do with those people when they try to bogart their way back in, you put your foot in their ass and tell you, I am a whole nother person now. I'm over here with God, working with God. He got me on something else. May God send you on your journey. It's normally what I bless them with when I leave a friendship or anything. May God bless you on your journey. We learned that in church and stuff like that, of course. And it's an old school way of separating the soul ties, because you can have soul ties with friends and things of that nature that are just not good for you. It's just this toxic cycle of friendship. You do not have to stay there, because I've seen so many people get left behind from their purpose because of the people that they are around that influence them to do stupid stuff and to stay low vibrational. And it cuts off the benefit of walking with God, manifesting your life the way you want to, because those friendships were holding me back spiritually, and it took me letting them go, and God detached something. Back then I was strictly only working with, I think, God, Archangel Michael. I had just started my ancestral work, so I was working with different angels, but Archangel Michael, of course, that was my favorite, one of my favorites anyway, even though I love all the angels. Of course, you work with the Holy Spirit, the Holy Son, Holy Mother, and the Divine Holy Father, God Himself. So I was working with them back then. And then, of course, my ancestors were actually helping me detach from a lot of stuff as well. You do not have to stay in a toxic friendship, just like you do not have to stay in a toxic relationship. They are just going to have to understand. And one of the best ways I had to do is delete them from social media and block them. Block them and delete them from your social media. Block and delete them from your phone and email list. Block them on every type of thing, and take them off of any like party list, invite list, whatever. You have to detach fully. That means no communication. I barely keep anybody numbers on my phone. And that's a magical and spiritual techno magic technique to detach karmic energies via the internet. Because people, you can still be following people. Detach, delete old Facebook and MySpace pages if they're on it. If you know you have more than one Facebook or Instagram account or whatever, and they're on it, delete them, block them on all social medias, and move the fuck on with your life like you would do a relationship. You do not have to be with these people. You are not in a marriage with these people. Some of these people have secret agendas and don't even know it it's because they're not ready to go through their journey just yet. And I said, well, when they go through their spiritual journey, and God wakes them up, they're going to see what I was talking about. And for a lot of them, it did happen. And I watched it. Then they will come back around. That's why I say you bless people on their journey away from you and you move on. When I tell you I deleted everybody, if I hadn't spoken to them in a year or so, they got deleted, they got blocked, they got, removed from social media friend list, phone number list, phone books. I deleted every existence of these people who did not serve the high greater good. I cut cords with Archangel Michael and the Archangel Michael candle, my white candle with my ancestral candle and angel candles. I did my candle work, I did my cord cut, and I moved on. I did my spiritual bath and drunk my teas, and I moved on. Back then, I was developing my regimen. Back then, that was like I said, I was 25. I'm 35 now. That was 10 years ago. I've been deleting people since. I actually have to go through and once a year I just go through my list. If I hadn't talking to somebody and I know it's been a couple years and they just been straggling on, I just delete them. I delete them. If I know if they're problematic or dramatic or whatever, or negative and just extreme issues and problems, I delete them and I block them. Now those I block. Old friends I've fallen out with, foes, block them, and that is called digital techno magic. It will stop them from having contact and access to you, to keep them from siphoning your energy, because they'll go look at your pictures, videos, and all that type of stuff. That's one reason why I keep certain Facebook pages or something like that private. Um, those type of pages, put your page on private. That alone will solve a lot of the siphoning. Um, and if somebody tags you, I normally take the tag off if it's a certain photo. You understand me? So that's pretty much it. So foes with benefits, as long as they have access to you, they're going to stop your journey or throw some type of delayment in it. And we don't have that. Some of them don't know they're doing it. Most of them do know they're doing it. And it's because you're changing and they don't like change. Also, 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 finding balance and peace with letting go of friendships and relationships. And also, what you're going to also do is, what you're also going to do is make sure you're focused on journaling, your shadow work, your healing work, your daily goals and output, major and minor goals, of course, which are your yearly goals, and keep propelling yourself forward. You're going to meet beautiful new people along the way. Some temporary, some full-time friendships. That's when your soul tribe comes in. You're going to have people try to tear you down, and you literally sometimes have to go into battle. Sometimes you will not. Know when to ignore, but also stand up for yourself. Do not let these people bogart your life. Bogart your life. You understand me? Bogart your life and try to find a way into your life without God's permission. They literally will look at your hair and try to cast a spell on it. They'll try to look at your scalp and block your crown and all this other stuff. The truth will hurt them, but they will move the fuck on with their life. And I don't regret it 10 plus years later. Just be you are the company you keep. It's up to you. Do you want these people around you? Do you want these people in your life to the point where you're not gonna believe this, but do you want them around you when you're at your highs and they're bringing you low and they give you the evil eye, the stink eye? You don't want that. People will plot ahead of time. Man, these people will use you just to conjure energy, just for money. Like I've had some of the weirdest stuff happen. Beat you at getting a promotion in your job, try to stop you from your business success. Everything I've gone through, everything. So I just want to share that story, and it's a testimony. Now some of them will come back around, but you'll know which ones it is. Be cautious of these people. Some of them want nothing good for you. And we're gonna wrap Skin Deep conversation, memoirs of a divine feminine. Especially as a divine feminine, you're going to, of course, battle up with a lot of different things. You are becoming a divine feminine, a divine woman that's anointed by God and the universe and the galactics and the cosmos around you, and all those great things. Of course, you becoming better than what you ever been. You're gonna sit in Empress mode. You understand me? Empress mode. Think about that. So I love you very much. This has been Brittany from the Goddess Complex LLC. Make sure you catch Cars and Coffee this weekend. Have a Memorial Day weekend for a lot of people. Also, I was going to air this video on Monday. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Also, happy Gemini season. Catch up on our latest readings and content. Especially check out our business feature over on YouTube. Several different business niches.com. Bizay and Paper Bill have been our latest successful video features. I'm trying out new outlays and stuff like that. So I love you very much. Catch the Cars and Coffee podcast over on anchor.fm, and also catch the Goddess Complex LLC and Empress Games over on Twitch, and also on major social medias. Catch the Goddess Complex LLC over on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and all major social medias. And I love you very much. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter of our Memoirs of a Divine Feminine journey. I love you. Peace, blessings, and anointings to your journey. May God bless you on your journey and on your way to greatness. I love you very much so. When